John, what should we do? Questions? Should we talk about Iran? What do you want to do?
Yeah, you and I were on Iranian television yesterday. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that. I've been on Press TV in the past.
No, you and I are regulars on Iranian television.
Really?
And yeah, we are. And
where's my Rials?
I know, right? Or Toman. I've never understood the connection between the two. Anyway, the reason why we were on is because we're talking about these issues and that we have made a couple of conclusions. Number one, they're repeating what we've said about naval movements. I think that's very important. Number two, they're repeating what we've said about how so few policymakers understand the history of the Middle East and understand the culture of the Middle East.
True.
Number three, they are connecting us, and I'm proud to say this, they're connecting us with John Mearsheimer and what he has said about how we're Americans. We want what's best for America, which may or may not be what's best for Israel. And in this,
often is not.
Often is not.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, the Iranians are no threat to us.
No.
The Iranians have never been a threat to us.
No. We've been a threat to them.
We've been a threat to them. Now, maybe the Iranians are a threat to Israel. I think they're not.
I don't think so either.
But even if the Israelis believe that they are, that's not our problem.
Nope.
And so I'm for America first, baby.
Me too. I mean, look, I hate the fact that nationalism, patriotism, America first, whatever you want to call it, that's considered a right-wing thing. I mean, it's like if we live in a nation-state system, it's logical to look out for the interests of your country and its people before those of other countries. And then it's expected that they'll do the same. Mean, that is how this is supposed to work.
That's right. That's right. And, another thing, too, we've got friends in the Middle East whom we don't normally talk about. Well, you and I have, but I mean, the mainstream media, they don't talk about. For example, the Omanis. I love the Omanis. The Omanis have been friends of ours for generations. It doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter who the Sultan is. The Omanis are friends of ours.
And they're never fucking with their neighbors.
Never. They're extraordinarily peaceful people. They're thoughtful. I like the Omanis very much. Well, the Omanis are also close to the Iranians. And many, many times over the years, the Omanis have acted as the go-between between the United States and Iran. I think we should approach the Omanis again, just like we should approach the Algerians. It was the Algerians, of all people, who got our hostages out in 1981. The Algerians.
That's a forgotten. I always thought it was Ben Affleck.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he just escaped on his own. But we should engage rather than just send a carrier battle group off the coast of southern Iran and then just make threats. We should be engaging in diplomacy, even if that diplomacy is not public. Right? What's Wyckoff supposed to do? He's the troubleshooter. Let the man do his job. And when I say do his job, I don't mean and then run back to Jerusalem every couple of days to report back.
I have little doubt that if an American administration reached out to Iran, we could settle our outstanding issues and end up with diplomatic relations and trade relations. I
totally agree, Ted.
We should. And temperamentally, Americans and Iranians are so much more similar than Americans would bet. We're so similar.
I couldn't agree more.
Like we're buds. We're like, it's kind of like a natural, it's sort of like when you meet someone for the first time, you're just like, I just get along with this person.
I've never met an Iranian that I didn't like. I mean Iranians. That with complete sincerity.
Yeah. The only thing that would ever stretch it are sort of some of the, Persian exiles in the LA area. They're a little weird.
That's a different breed. Yeah. Those are the ones that, Yeah, those are the ones that stole as much as they could as they were bugging out of Iran in '79, and
with the gym bag full laden with gold ingots,
gold and cash and jewels. And
they're so funny about it. They should be happy to be alive, and instead they're like still whinging all these years later.
I think the mayor of Beverly Hills is Persian. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's a different breed. But
I'm going to look. I think that's the case.
So Trump is threatening an attack with speed and violence. That's the quote that he said. And he and the Europeans are basically on the same side. John, let's go, if you're okay with this, let's go through, because you and I talked about this with Robbie after the show yesterday offline, about the three principal demands that are on the table. Interestingly, Trump seems to have completely forgotten about the poor, sad demonstrators. He said that he wanted to defend in Iran. Now he says he and the Europeans are asking for three things. Number one, no more uranium enrichment. Get rid of all current stockpiles of uranium. I don't know who gets them. Maybe we do. A limit on the range and number of ballistic missiles. In other words, not like nuclear missiles, those they don't have those, but just long range. They have medium range missiles. They don't have long range ICBMs.
Right. No, they don't have long range.
And an end to and no more support for groups like Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis in Yemen. That's basic. That's it. Now, John, you were pointing out, so you should say this. Who came up with that list for the U.S.?
I can tell you exactly who came up with that list, and his name is Benjamin Netanyahu. That is quite literally, word for word, the Israeli list of demands for the Iranians. Now, like magic, all of a sudden, it's the American list of demands. To the letter.
That's sick.
This isn't a foreign policy. We're conceding our foreign policy. I want what's best for America.
It's corrupt. I mean, this reminds me of like how in, domestically, we have, interest groups and lobbyists who will literally submit the text of a proposed bill to a congressman who literally cuts and pastes it and submits it as legislation.
That's right.
And that's corrupt. I mean, there's not even a pretense of decency here. In this case, I mean, look, I got to say, if I were negotiating with Iran, I wouldn't, first of all, the missiles would be off the table. You
got to protect yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real country. And also don't ask for things that your adversary can't possibly agree to. Mm-hmm. And as for the proxy groups, it's completely unenforceable. Not to mention, is the U.S. going to stop, backing its proxies in the region? I think they could have a conversation about uranium, but I mean, even so, I mean, the enrichment controversy, it was caused by the Trump administration when it threw away the agreement that was signed under
JCPOA,
Obama,
which was working.
Right.
It was exactly the same.
The old arrangement.
That's right. It was exactly the same inspection regime that the United Nations imposed on Iraq, between 1991 and 2003. It was working.
Now, the other thing I can't stand, and of course, you're never going to get this out of American media, and we always talk about this here, but I'm going to keep talking about it. Iran never lost a war. They didn't do anything wrong. They're not being sanctioned because they fucked up somehow. They literally, they agreed to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty after the revolution, to maintain it after they took over. They didn't have to. They could have said, we just had a revolution. We overthrew the old government. Old treaties are bye-bye, just like Trump does without a revolution. They could have they're doing this voluntarily to be so. A country that clearly doesn't want to become an international nuclear power is being like, you better not become a international nuclear power. They're like, that's what we said.
If the Iranians wanted to be
an open door.
Yeah. If the Iranians wanted to be a nuclear power, they would have been a nuclear power years ago.
It's not that hard.
And the CIA has repeatedly concluded that the Iranians are not seeking a nuclear weapon.
There's no evidence at all. So, and in like nuclear power, honestly, in the age of climate change, we have a climate change story out of Holland. It's nuclear power is, weirdly, I say this for, people like our age, when we remember the no nukes movement and 3 Mile Island, but now that's a relatively clean form of power.
Yeah, it is. Crazy as that sound. I even had a no nukes shirt. It was a black t-shirt and in white lettering, it said no nukes on it. And almost got into a fist fight in a bar. I was 18. We crossed the state line into Campbell, Ohio to go drinking at RJ's Holiday House, nickel beer night, Tuesday nights.
Oh, wow.
Nickel beer night tells you how long
I
ago
bet it was so yummy too.
Oh my God, so much fun. 1981. And I got into a shoving match, and a couple of friends of mine jumped in and decked this guy because he was pro-nuke and he just objected to my T-shirt.
It was so political then.
It really was a big deal.
Yeah. I still have my old No Nukes buttons lying around somewhere.
Remember the No Nukes concert in Central Park?
Yes.
1980.
I mean, the terrible graphic for that is still seared onto my brain. So I would say that if there is a countdown to midnight clock, it's just moved closer to midnight here. Who's going to attack Iran? Will it be the U.S. or will it be Israel?
I think it'll be both of us together. I really do.
Holding our pinky fingers together.
And I'll tell you, Ted, it frightens me that we want to throw our lot in with Benjamin Netanyahu like this. I think it weakens us as a country.
Well, no, I mean, of course. I mean, look, the thing is, it's a disastrous policy. I mean, rule number one of political engagement is never start a battle you can't win. We can't win this.
No.
What do they think is going to happen? You're going to overthrow the government of Iran? You couldn't overthrow the government of Venezuela. And now you're trying to overthrow the government of Iran.
And we're talking about a country of 92 million people, and it is
modern,
enormous.
Country.
Yes.
Very educated people. Yeah.
Very educated.
This is not Afghanistan in the 90s.
That's right.
They think Americans
and we
think
couldn't
it
even
is.
overthrow
they don't
them.
know.
No, you're right.
Yeah. And yeah, so I mean, part of the problem here is the ignorance. I mean, so they go in together. I mean, obviously, I think this is going to be, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's just going to be the usual, we attacked military targets. Maybe they take out a government ministry or two in Tehran. But nothing much is going to change except resentment. It's about keeping the Israelis happy. It does nothing for us at all. And by the way, if we care about getting energy prices, let's make a deal with the Iranians.
Yeah, you can say that.
They have tons of oil. Yeah,
they do. They have tons
high
of oil.
Quality. We should normalize those relations, and it's in a good location there too. Yeah, it's really annoying. So how dangerous is this? I mean, how could this escalate? I mean, the Iranians did sort of fire a shot across the bow during the Gaza conflict when they fired a bunch of drones at Israel.
Yeah, but that was in response
to get more
to
serious?
an Israeli attack.
That's right. Right. So in other words, in response to a U.S./Israeli attack, how is Iran? I mean, domestically, the Iranians can't keep taking it on the nose. They've got to
respond. My guess is, based on what I saw in my agency days, my guess is that the Iranians will do two things. Well, maybe three things. I think in the event of an Israeli attack, they'll respond to Israel, whether it's with rockets or with drones. That's fine. That's everybody would expect that. But the Iranians have said, and we should take them at their word, that they will attack American interests in the region, which is military bases. Mm-hmm. And they have their pick. There are like 44 of them that are in the immediate vicinity. Remember that joke, why the Iranians put their country right in the middle of our military bases. But exactly. Number three,
that could lead to escalation, though.
Number three, and I think they'll cut this when they run this clip on the Iranian news tonight. The Iranians will carry out acts of terrorism against American interests, whether it's, American oil workers or American businesses or whatever it happens to be. If I were an American, a private American, working in Pakistan or working in, whatever country, I would be worried for my safety.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, it's I don't want to say I don't blame them, but it's not surprising.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's not surprising.